was like, bro, you gotta hear this, bro.
I got
He's
this.
like, oh no, bro, this is it right here. I already hear it. He's like, I already got it. And he was like, no, we're gonna switch it up. He's like, we're gonna do it like this. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh shit. I said, that shit dope as hell. I said, I'm finna say it like that too. Like, boom. He's like, you gonna get it. Blah, blah, blah. It's gonna be around. Either you win or you ain't gonna give it to me. That was it.
So we can't sing that on this interview. Because then they're going to be like,
you only heard me.
Talk about it.
It's going too loud. It's going too loud.
Too loud crew.
Too loud crew. Oh my goodness.
Man, look, man, y'all ain't gonna think I'm crazy. Man, when was the last time we ate, nigga?
I know.
God damn.
He's not eating, man.
Bro, I'm always hungry.
I already know.
That's
why
why
you like me.
I'm
We always hungry.
That's why girls love me, man.
We can't stop eating, bro. That's why my baby's the same way.
You gonna let me eat, and then I'll eat you, bitch.
Throw it in the air and sweet.
Hey, throw it in the air, throw it up, throw it might get a good, might get that issue. Might go ahead and kiss that. I took it in the bedroom and swish it. Hey, Ashley, nigga, that's me.
Yeah.
Fuck that bitch till the knees get ashy. Who's that? Listen, no, that's Ashley.
Yeah.
I get it, Ashley.
Yeah, we ain't live yet this week.
Yeah, man.
Are we?
Shout out to the world.
Oh no. What's happening?
Everybody cool. See what's going on.
Huh?
Okay.
We're going in.
That's how we live right now.
We're on Facebook.
Yeah. Shout out.
Facebook. No.
Hey, man.
Uh-oh.
I started this production shit. This motherfucker thinks like this.
We back though.
Okay, we back. Jesus.
We back though.
Jesus.
Okay, what's up, y'all?
What's going on, everybody?
Check it. You already know, it's LJ. What's poppin'? I'm here.
Oh, I got a mic.
Alright, I'm here right now. It's a special time right now. These two fellas came through, was able to bless me with some time to interview the one and only Chozxn and Kevin Posey. So, in case you guys don't know, I'm gonna educate y'all real quick. Chozxn, my man right here. I don't even think I need this mic, but Chozxn is an artist straight from California who honed his music in Japan and got his artistry going in Japan. Got it cracking. Recently dropped a project with the single Splash and Tiptoe. Did not want to fuck that up. Okay. You can get those though. It's on the Recipe Volume 1. All produced by the man right here, Kevin Posey. Straight up. And Kev is here, straight back from New Zealand. We've been killing shit left and right. It's crazy. He even like tapped in. So I really appreciate you coming through, both of y'all. Kev just recently released his project called Breathe, which you can get on Spotify, all the places, Apple, Tidal, for show. Same with Chozxn. You can get his project, The Recipe Volume 1, on Tidal too, and Spotify, all the spots, right? All right.
All the street.
Okay. So, I'm just gonna take this time to just, I guess, let you talk to folks about, you know, what you guys recently did, and then, you know, where you guys are going, and what's to come. So people could be, you know, on an alert. You feel me? All right. Yes, Steve.
So, my guy Chozxn, you just dropping this project.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir,
And,
for having me.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That's coming. So you just dropped the project, and so far, what do you think the response?
Yeah, I've been having some good responses. You know, the streams are going up, and people are there loving the music because, you know, Kevin, he makes real music, you know, and that's the only reason why I rock with him. You know, he's like my brother. Like, We've been, you know, doing some real good projects, and some of these last few projects, they just been going up. The numbers are going up. You know, I think they go up more. You know, with more exposure to more people. You know, that want to hear this type of music, because this is different music. You know,
Right.
and it's good music. It's not something that's, you know, like you know.
Yeah.
This is music that when you listen to it, it gives you that feeling, like it takes you to that place where the music is talking.
Yo, I could play them joints while we doing this, but are y'all gonna are they gonna shut it down? Even though I don't know, they might shut it down. I don't know. I'll pull it up. So what was the process like for you? Because from what I know, when you was recording the project, even though he was producing it, he wasn't even with you, right?
No, he wasn't.
So what was that like?
It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of dedication, you know, because I am a busy guy and he's a busy guy. So when we connect and we say to each other, okay, this is what we need to do. Even though we weren't together, he was all the way overseas in New Zealand and I was here in California. We knew that we had to make it happen. We said no matter how far we are apart, you know, we're gonna make it happen. So the process for me, recording by myself, you know what I mean? Like he had to teach me a lot of this stuff. He had to show me, he had to guide me.
You ain't know how to
because I'm just always in the booth, you know, the engineer, the producer is I just rely on them, and like he's teaching me things that I didn't know how to do. And so as the process I got better and better and better.
Like Zoom type of shit?
Well, sometimes we'll just go, you know, live on, phone call, go live, be like, okay, and I'll be like, I'll send him, I'll be like, okay, listen to this, you know, I'll record, I'll call him up, boom, boom, listen to this, oh, well, no, boom, I heard this right here, boom, okay, boom, that's another tape, like, that was already 200 tapes, you know what I mean, trying to get it right, but then it's hard work, but we are perfectionists. We work very hard and we are very efficient. We don't play around with time. So we knock it out. We don't say, oh yeah, we're gonna sit down and wait and boom, boom. No, we're gonna knock this out. Even though we're like miles and miles away from each other, it was just like we were there in the room together.
The dedication.
Yeah, the dedication. We already knew when we met each other. We knew that him having the artistry, I mean the impeccable artistry, right? And me having this voice, he saw more in me that I seen in myself. So it's like, it was easier for him to know me and then record than me, you know, because I've worked with other people, you know, but when someone knows and hears your voice and knows all the ranges and know where something sounds good, and understands the sound and understands the person, where it comes from, and who he is, you know, or who she or whatever, you know, it's easier to do that. You know, so.
That's what's up. To speak on that more, just hand over to Kev. I want to talk to Kev about it. Talk, if you could, just like talk about your process in connecting with artists, just on a basic level. Cause from what I know, when you was working on his project, you already had other projects you were working with other artists. Right. So, what is your process like when you're trying to tap in with specific artists?
So the thing is with that, the drive of passion and purpose and understanding where the artist wants to go, right? The thing is, it's not about time management, it's more so when you catch a vibe with somebody. For me, I understand where they're wanting to go, so I'll make it happen on an efficient level, and I also pull in their input of what they want to do, what direction they want to go, and it's just really stemmed from a conversation. Most of the songs we have come from a conversation. Some of the other artists and musicians that I work with overseas, it comes from a conversation. They're just sitting there really talking, and minutes later, a song is created. It's a more of giving a comfortable setting and just making something natural in that space. And juggling back and forth with different songs is not a problem. So like there would be days I would work on a verse or a hook with Chozxn, and I'll tell them to write another one. I have another artist come through and we'll work on the song and knock it out with another artist. It's just that passion and purpose and that drive. I feed that energy to the artists and musicians that I work with, and it makes everything so much easier to get things done. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. And you know what? Your passion does show in a lot of sessions that I've been in with you.
Yeah.
And from the just different variety of artists I see you work with, I mean, there must be some kind of passion driving you with that. So that's real powerful. When you was working on your project, Breathe, were you taking any ideas from your other experiences with artists, or were you more so tapping in with, I guess, your own sound? What was unique to what you already knew?
So Breathe, the Breathe album was more so a reverse of the pain that I was going through at the moment.
Yeah.
Instead of using the whole studio sessions and time to vent about my problems or the issues of the stress or depression, I decided to tap into the feeling of, this is what it feels like when I'm happy. This is what it feels like when I have strength in a situation. This is what it feels like when I'm tapped in spiritually. This is what it feels like when I'm just full of joy, right? Only one song that I kind of pulled from to show a parallel was the song Breathe, right? And it was me giving a pep talk to myself, like, are you going to sit here and whine about every little thing that's happening, or are you going to get off your ass and live and just boss up on what you want to do in life, right? So it was more of a therapeutic session for me, right? And just to be able to call upon and work with musicians that were willing to, that was a different experience for me. Because usually I would work and make beats by myself and just do everything solo.
Right, kind of your own cave.
Yeah. So I think what New Zealand had did for my creative space is to open up and to tap in with more musicians, more so than just rappers and singers. And it was a teaching moment of how to write music in chords with other artists and musicians, and to really paint something beautiful, to let the listeners cope with what they're dealing with, to give them a little bit of positivity or a different outlook on the situation, right? Because the people who knew what I was going through, when they heard the album, they're like, damn, where did this come from? Well, it came from that feeling. It's recapturing that feeling and giving it to the world versus painting more darkness in it, because things were happening, and this was pre-COVID, you know what I mean? Some of it was post-COVID, so, I came back here and had to finish it up, so that was just the balance of it, you know.
You're saying what was pre-COVID, like making the project?
Yeah. So some of the songs, some of the more upbeat songs were pre-COVID. Some of the love songs were pre-COVID, but songs like World From Inside, that was post, that was during COVID. The Breathe song, that was during COVID because things were just really heavy, and it's like, okay, so you're gonna fold during this whole George Floyd situation. You're not gonna go outside the house, or you're gonna go outside the house and go get what's yours. It was also like, okay, yeah, there's COVID outside, but are you gonna mask up and go get yours? Are you gonna live in fear, or are you gonna get up and go get yours? You gotta breathe through life. You can't suffocate yourself because things are bad. So that's why the whole thing was catered to breathe. You know what I mean? Feeling suffocated is not the way, dog. So yeah.
So, talk about the comparison between making music, your process of making a project in America, because you had already, was it 3 projects?
Yeah.
Before you had moved to New Zealand?
Yes, sir.
And so you already had that, so you already were in a rhythm of how you like to work and everything, right?
Yeah.
So making that project, those projects, I guess, what was the experience like in America compared to your experience in New Zealand? Was it, I guess just speak on it.
Okay, yeah, so making the projects in America, the first one that I put on Spotify was a transition from not cussing as much in my songs. I do cuss, I'll cuss you out, you know what I'm saying? I'm a real cat, you know what I'm saying? That's me. I come from an environment that's a little grimy, but it is what it is. So I decided to challenge myself on the intellectual level of, hey, you do have a whole plethora of vocabulary. Why aren't you using that? You speak multiple languages. Why aren't you using that? So it was more of a challenge to do that here and to break away from the comfort of just using cuss words on every other bar, but deciding to go a little bit further than just, you know, using the sub. Like I can say
low hanging fruit.
Yeah, the low hanging fruit. Let me go over your head and reach higher and do something different.
Yeah.
And
Hey man, can you talk about that a little bit more in depth on maybe what you took from trying to push yourself to do that?
oh man, I took a lot of people cutting me off and just leaving me to dry, just leaving me to hang to dry because they were like, oh man, this is soft, dog. Like, what are you doing? Oh, you ain't rapping about this and that no more. Oh, that old stuff was hard when you was talking about this and that. And it's like, yeah, but I need to challenge myself. I got bored with it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was more so longer sessions because, you know, it's easier to write just anything down. So it was more reading, tapping into who I am, what I want to speak about, writing more in Spanish as well, just to tap into that a little bit more. But fast forward going overseas, I didn't expect to fall into music when I got overseas. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what to expect. But what made it easier for me was two things. The people that I met that were musicians, how they were pushing me to write. Because I would just freestyle and show them different ways that they can do things over my beats. The second thing was the landscape, the scenery, writing colors. You see what I mean? It was just different melodies, different vibes that I would catch just from being outside. So I put that together and decided, hey, let me do this again. And started to do shows was the other thing. Live performances out there. And the energy that you get from people in New Zealand is like none other. Anybody that goes there to perform can tell you that, man.
Whole different kind
It's
of
a whole different vibe. Yeah.
yeah. And so when you do the shows out there, do you think that your like American background helps get that focus?
Yeah. I believe it's something different for them to see, right? Given that America is far away. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of influence comes from America, if you will. Granted that they have their own sound there. It's a beautiful sound. There's mega talent out of New Zealand that just exudes their own space, their own culture, their own flavor. And just for them, how they embrace me there, man, that's love. Even when Lizzo came down, they embraced her. I mean, it was just so much love, man. And it's like the love coupled with the American swag, with the dialect that I have, because I have an accent there versus being here. I'm just, you know, I got the Okie accent. It's all good, but it's something different for them. You know what I mean?
Okie.
Yeah, country ass. You know, country. But all of that and just the work ethic, man, because people can see that when I get in the studio with artists there. They see it's business, but it's not so. Okay, we're just gonna do this. It's not cut and
They're
dry.
getting a lot more. They're getting a lot more in the moment.
That's
you
right.
provide a lot more value than whatever they may be paying you or whatever. So I understand that. Could you talk a little bit about what is to come? Because I know that with COVID, a lot of the world shut down.
Yeah, man.
And you're back over here in the States, but soon, you will find your way back over there.
That's right.
And I know you're still working over here now that you're back.
Sure.
So what are some things that you like, you looking forward to, and maybe some that you want people to know about so that they can keep their eye on it?
Okay, so I have a project coming with an artist out of Melbourne, Australia, named Douglas McDowell. And
Shout out to him.
yeah, shout out to Douglas, man. He's an incredible producer and a badass bass player, guitar player, percussionist, etc. Yeah, he's the man. And I have another project coming out before the end of the year, or at the top of the year, with Scissorhands, the DJ out of New Zealand. Shout out to my bro DJ Scissorhands with the kilogram. Hey,
Hey.
Yeah.
Hard.
That's my bro. That's his favorite word. Hot. Choco. Yeah, that's my dog. Yeah, so we got an EP coming featuring my man Chozxn, of course, and
What's that
Chozxn
called?
and I, we got.
What's that project called?
Oh, that project, it's to be named. To be named. We don't have a title for it yet.
Got you.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not gonna put it on
Yeah,
blast.
it's all good. Like we
Yeah.
literally started cutting it last week. It's supposed to be like 4 to 5 tracks. I did 4 tracks in like 2 days, just because his beats are incredible, by the way.
Yeah.
And this is the first project where I'm not producing any beats. I'm just rapping,
Oh,
just
word.
spit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the bars.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the bars have definitely advanced from the last time. From the first
Appreciate
time I
that,
met
man.
this man rapping, he had cool hooks, but he had a kind of sound that was kind of like, when I heard it, I was like, kind of like Pharrellish kind of sound.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now, when I hear you,
Yeah.
hey, my man, it's like,
Hard.
this is Kev, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's unique, so I know you
Yeah.
tapped in.
And
That's what's up.
yeah, definitely found that in New Zealand for sure, because I had more time to just be free away from the city and away from the normal, right? So many like nature, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Distract.
less distractions.
You're probably able to get more into like
Oh,
your own
man,
confidence
tap
too.
into it.
Absolutely, man. And I think the stage did that for me because I was
Yes.
able to
Yes.
really give the people me in a, in a unique way, but also in an original way,
Mm.
to show them, hey, this is what I come with. This is me. I'm from the States, yes, country guy, but I'm happy to be here. So let me give y'all the best show. Let me give you the best of me,
Right.
and that's what pushed me into finding my own sound, basically.
Dope. Before we get out of here, I want you to talk a little bit about that experience of performing, like that story you kind of told about how you were able to, I mean, in a sense, put up your own showcases for artists in the
Oh
the city.
yeah. So me and my brother Moscow Q, shout out to Moscow Q.
Moscow.
He came with this idea. We were sitting
Moscow.
down. And he said, "Yeah, Moscow's the man."
Moscow Q, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to him and his baby girl Moscow Q.
There it is.
Yeah.
Hey, Moscow QT. Hey, she
Yeah.
riding. She put his name
Oh,
in her
yeah.
name.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Sure.
That's what's up. Shout out to her.
So basically, we put on this jam session on Sunday nights. We did 2 of them, and they were pretty big. We had some artists that were unknown. We had some artists that were known that have a lot of esteem in New Zealand, and they all showed up. It was a 3-hour jam session that we would kick off. We ran the sound. The band members came. We had bass players, violinists. We had guitarists. A few different drummers to switch out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a constant party. The music would never stop.
Organic.
Organically.
Yeah.
We were coming up with hooks on the spot, verses on the spot. Singers were coming and singing their hearts out. And that's something when I do get back, we will definitely continue. And I know that the COVID thing dissipated that. And shout out to Anthology Lounge. Shout out to Simone. Thank you for allowing us to
Anthology
use the
Lounge,
space. Yeah, and everybody that came in and showed out. I mean, it was amazing that even from that, I was able to pull musicians and singers from those events and put them onto the Breathe album, and that's how I was able to find artists like Lily Jackson, saxophone like Matt Bizzle, and shout out to my girl Latifale. Yeah, that was the first artist that I had featured on my project. Yeah, amazing vocalist. Yeah, just it's so many people. The name Stallone, the
Yes.
keys. He's incredible on the keys. Yeah. So, yeah, the loft will return. And again, shout out to Moscow Q, man. I appreciate you, bro.
That's hard. Okay. Well, you did bring up how you was up there freestyling, profiling.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chozxn, you be on the bars.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so look, I made a little hook earlier. You know, we was going through. You guys heard it. You heard it. And how y'all feel about dropping a couple bars?
Let's do it.
I'm good
Just
with
for
it.
the moment.
I'm good with it.
Let's do it.
You
Let's
know,
do it, huh?
even though I said I don't cuss in my songs, I do slide them in my freestyle. So hey, it is what
Hey,
it
it
is.
is what it is.
We living, we chilling.
We live.
We
So
live,
it is what
baby.
it is. Yeah.
I'm gonna do this from the 10 now.
For the 10
Hey. Doing this live.
Hey, hey, hey.
What you think? Me and you on a date. I can take you anywhere in the place. So what you thinking? Don't keep no secrets. God don't make mistakes. That's why we meet and pray. What you think? Me and you on a date. I can take you anywhere in the place. So what you thinking? Don't keep no secrets. God don't make mistakes. That's why we meet and pray. Tell me where is you going? Where I'm going? I can take you when you get me alone. Now only you level left from Patron. Every level that I do, we can go.
We going anywhere you wanna go, baby. Don't act like you know something on. Don't get there. We drunk a little Patron, but we ain't slowing down, baby. Let's go up in this ride and get down, baby. Cheers to that, you hear that, don't hear it here, give me some dab, yeah. You already know, that cheers right here, come high, nigga, with the motherfucking drink in your ear. They like, where she want to go, she gon' me, yeah. Told her she could jump in the ETX, yes. She said I am the best, hey, rolling down the motherfucking street, I ain't never starting down, baby. You know I wear the crown, I give it to you too, king. We been around this motherfucker, yeah. Riding with no lights, we riding on the site.
What you think? Me and you on a date. I can take you anywhere, name the place. So what you thinking? Don't keep no secrets. God don't make mistakes. That's why we meet and pray. Tell me where is you going? I can take you where we can't be alone. Now only you, I don't have from control. Every level we can go.
Damn, I almost walked up on your friend, but something was kids like the way that you bend it. That ass on you pretty fat, I'm like it is problem if I don't get you to come with it. I just wanna take you out on a date, take you somewhere and we can stay. I ain't gotta play, you gotta play, we can go double dutch on dates. Oh, I can pay for it out, you know, most kind of problem. Low key with it, humble, but I want straight to spar. That's about you, buy you what you want. I ain't gotta get it about you. You can come around with your girls if you want, but don't tell them the biz, dog, cause they gon' be hitting my DMs from the lizard. Big ass and all that, they really want it. See that, I move fast, I'm really on it. I handle business, but still I can bend you over. I wanna be a gentleman and take you out to get you something.
What you think? Me and you on a date.
You on a date?
I can take you anywhere, name the place. So what you thinking? Don't keep no secrets. God don't make mistakes. That's why we meet in here. Tell me where you going?
Where is you going?
I can take you where we can't be alone.
Hey, hey,
Now where are you? I don't have from control.
hold up.
Every level we can go.
She waking up in the morning, she had a folder, she asking if she can go home. I said, girl, do what you like. I don't cuff them, I don't love and leave them unless they wanna be leaving. I never hold them, I just let them live their life. But I ain't into it, I know I go get into it. My money, I do pursue it, but you know what I do like. She came out here and broke up for lunchtime and said, I got something we can do around with eyes. Gotta cool it, gotta move it, gotta do them things like I'ma smoke your NIGGA all night. Like to do is bite it, kiss it, and like it. I hit it up, I get it all town, hype it. Like I'm in the bay, she my bae, she boo. I can do things to her that the dudes think they could do, but they never can. I'm the man, got that mic in my hand, got a Patron in my hand, and I said,
What you think? Me and you on a date.
I'm hey,
So what you thinking? Don't keep no secrets. God don't make mistakes. That's why we meet in here, girl. Tell me where you going? I can take you where we can't be alone. Now only you, I don't have to control. Every level that I go, we can go.
let you down. Yeah, I'ma do it real good. You gon' be like who you is. I'm the nigga straight up out the hood with the motherfucking wood, baby. I know you wanna pull me out. Go ahead, girl. No doubt. Yeah, we roll that round, and I'm rolling up too. Ooh, you looking sweet. You know you my boo boo.
What you think? Me and you on a date? Oh, I can take you anywhere, name the place. So what you thinking? Don't keep no secrets. God don't make mistakes. That's why you meeting. Tell me where you going. I can take you where you get me alone. Every level that I do, we can go.
I know the beat going up, but I can keep going off. Put the features on you, baby, you can see me off. I can take you to the mall, buy you something, but you gotta return a favor. Do something for the flavor. See, yeah, I pound it, haunted. No one gonna be chilling on the island, doing things for you that I like to. I'm just feeling good tonight.
Hey, y'all getting that double right now. I don't even understand what's going on. I got the double, the interview and the freestyle. This better than the basement, G. This the studio in the studio.
In the studio. He said in the studio, in the studio.
This the studio crib.
Yeah.
Hey man, what we sipping on,
We
bro?
say-
'Cause it got me feeling nice.
Hey yo, this is not sponsored by them, but shout out to them. Suntory whiskey.
Arigato.
I love their Japanese whiskey.
Kampai.
You feeling it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm feeling it, bro.
This is it. This is
This
it.
is it. I know
This is
this is
it.
it.
This is
I
sweet.
don't know. If you don't know,
It took me back.
now you know, nigga.
Hey.
Feel me?
Yeah.
This is that shit. Alright.
Matana.
Well, yo, I appreciate y'all tapping in. We gonna cut it. I hope y'all
Appreciate you,
enjoyed
bro.
the raps. Hope y'all was able to learn some shit from these motherfucking millionaires or genius, brilliant niggas.
Thank you,
And
sir.
yeah, man, stay tapped in with what they doing. You can find their IG names in the title of this post, so you don't have to worry about it. But this is official Chozxn,
Yes, sir.
official Kevin Posey.
Yes, sir.
You already know this is LJ_Moody representing MYXR app.
Ooh, there.
Don't ever play yourself.
Got it.
Bet on yourself.
Work hard.
Bet on yourself.
Always, always. Thank you, brothers.
It's all
Till next
good.
time.
It's all love.
All
Peace.
love. You